Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Welcome to the Business Beat. I'm Ralph White, and I'm here today with my co-host Bonnie Landau. And we used to be Consulting to Win, and we got a new name, new month, new name, Bonnie.
Yes.
Yes. So we're the Business Beat, where we keep our finger on the pulse of business to increase the flow of profit. So we're looking for driving your business for profit and looking at whatever it is that's stopping that flow. So we're here today. We're going to be talking about what, Bonnie? What's our subject for today?
Well, basically the idea of reputation management, how to use social media to get noticed and build your reputation in a positive light.
That sounds great. Excellent. So if you have any questions, Bonnie's an expert in this arena. You want to dial in on 310-371-5444. That's 310-371-5444. Take an opportunity to ask her questions. You know, it's not very frequently you can ask free questions. Usually they have to pay by the hour in order to get to talk with you, Bonnie. So you want to take advantage of this opportunity. So what are we talking, in looking at reputation management, what should be some of our concerns? What kind of attention are we talking about, when you're talking about that subject?
Well, and everybody's talking about social media and how people are using it for PR and networking and to find leads and to draw traffic. But one of the things that people forget about often is that we each have our own online presence. We have our own reputation online based upon the information that is out there about us. It's similar to PR in the print and TV worlds. But the thing is most companies don't have the money to do traditional PR. They don't have the money to hire a firm to help get them on television or get articles in papers. So most companies don't need to deal with this that much, reputation management. But the influx of social media has changed that. It doesn't take any money to get into social media. It doesn't take any money to use that as a PR engine. The thing is that by doing that, you now have a reputation that you need to manage. And social media is an awesome way to get noticed. It's an awesome way to get the attention and to establish yourself as an expert. But you have to pay attention to what you're doing and how you're doing it. Yeah,
I was just talking with one of my clients the other day, and I've noticed the difference that the web has made and social media has made, even in my own thinking. I realized I have an unlisted phone number and have never been willing to list my home phone or my phone in the telephone book. Yet I've got it on our website. I've got it on Plaxo. I've got it on, LinkedIn. It's like, where's the thinking on that? I mean, I'm doing all of these things to get people to call me, but yet I won't put it in the telephone book.
And the ironic thing there is I don't think really people use the phone book anymore.
No, right. But it's some different kind of thinking associated with the web and that, that reputation management, that presence, creating a presence on the web. And I know one of the things that you recommend, and I do it, is to Google yourself to see, what it looks like.
Yeah, actually what you can do, which is really an excellent, and we were going to talk about later, is how to manage that reputation. You can do things to make it easier to pay attention to what's going on with your reputation online so that you can keep tabs on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So isn't social media about making connections with potential clients?
Well, that's a really good question. I think that most people think of social media as, that one-on-one, let's get more customers or let's get people to our website. But what we're going to talk about today is a little bit of a different approach. Social media as a PR engine. Social media to establish authority, to get noticed, And it's not just to bring eyeballs to your website, but actually to build that online reputation.
So it sounds like advertising in a different way. It doesn't sound like...
That's what PR is.
Yes, okay. But I'm hearing it, and it's not like I'm advertising my company to call me. It sounds like I'm advertising myself in a different way, I'm presenting myself in a different way. So how does getting noticed through social media different from traditional networking?
But if you think about it, if you're doing traditional networking, like say going to a chamber event and you're meeting somebody, what are you doing when you're meeting them? You're telling them how great you are, hopefully.
Right.
You're talking about like, oh, I do this and I do that and I have this experience and I have that. And so what are you doing? You're kind of bragging.
As opposed to sitting with your friends and not meeting anybody new?
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, really in the traditional networking, you're trying to find out, does this person need me? And if so, how can I let them know I'm the right person for them to call? So it's a sales approach to networking. Social media is a little bit different in that you're not telling people what you do, you're being what you do. So, for example, if I met somebody and they said, I'm looking for someone who does a web designer, I might start saying, well, I have this many years of experience. I've built this many websites. We use Joomla, blah, blah. But on the web, I don't say any of that. On the web, what I'm doing is writing blogs about, how to market your website, how to optimize your search engine optimization, how to design your website for maximum readability. So I'm demonstrating my abilities by being my expertise.
Okay, so that then the client or the potential client can actually experience working with you in a sense by reading your blogs, by looking at your work. They instead of reading the advertising, they're experiencing the work.
Exactly. It's it's analogous to offline. If you were going to go teach a class. As the teacher in the class, you're considered the authority in the room.
Right.
And that automatically puts you, on a different level. And the people look to you as the person as having the answers. Whereas in traditional networking, when you're in a room of everybody's trying to connect for business and sell to people, it's a different kind of feeling. It's a different kind of approach. And so with social media, you have an opportunity to really show people the value that you bring to the table.
Yeah, it's interesting that since the field is so new, you can almost declare yourself to be an authority and then run like hell to make that happen.
Yes, but people can see through it if it's not valid.
Okay.
I mean, that's really important. Like
Right.
probably one of the key cornerstones with social media is to be true to who you are.
Right.
I mean, they talk about there are a lot of six-figure bloggers making money teaching people how to blog successfully. But then there's been people who said, oh, I could teach that, and just without the background and the experience, start a blog, and you see right through it. They're just copying what the other people are saying.
Okay, so you've got to have the evidence. You've got to have the results lined up with what you're saying. But it is a field that's open to a lot of possibilities.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So how do I know where to invest my time in social media?
Well, that's a really hard decision for a lot of people. There are a lot of different outlets and a lot of different ways that you can go. And so what you need to do is look at what you are already doing. So what are you already doing in your business that you are sharing your authority with your clients? So like a really good example is that we have a PR company that we work with that they've been doing a lot of social media work for their clients. So they then said, well, why don't we start writing articles about how to use, social media for PR? Because now they become authority. And then what that does is it drives their brand as an expert at creating plans and using social media as a PR engine for their clients. And so they've taken what they're already doing and they're just putting it together and repackaging it in another way. I think one of the challenges for businesses in social media is finding the time to do it.
Okay.
So it's really important that you take your approach and use what you're already doing so you're not adding a ton of time
Right.
to your efforts. I mean, Today on the blog, I actually posted a bunch of case studies that showed that social media works. Okay, there was one case study that this company, they only spent 6 hours a week. Okay, it was a company. It was called the website was Take Lessons, and it was these two musicians who were not really making a lot of money. Got this idea to create this website where people could come and sign up and say, I want to take piano lessons, and I live in Minneapolis. And people who teach piano could come there and have signed up and said, I teach piano lessons. This is how much I charge. This is where I am. And so then it's basically they couple people together, people who want to take lessons, people who teach lessons. And in 6 hours a week, they established a full-time business for themselves with this website, takelessons.com. And they did not overwhelm themselves with social media. And yet they had a plan, and they put it together, and they executed it, and they successfully built an entire company that they had Fortune 100 companies calling and saying, like, we'd like to invest with you. We'd like to partner with you.
Yeah. I must also follow the other premise that you've said numerous times of being consistent. It's the persistence, consistency. That follows. That follows your social media diet that you've talked about in the past.
It's very important not to choose something that's going to overwhelm you, because then you're going to give up.
Right.
And when you're looking at what can you do, I know that there was a company. We had a caller call in a month or so ago who did aerial photography, and that's a perfect example of a company that has an asset that they could use in social media. So they could either take the photos, putting them up on Flickr and distributing them through social media, or they could start carrying a video camera, when they're up there taking pictures. And they could start, for example, maybe they do some video aerial photo of Disneyland or something. And then they start pushing it out, because people who are wanting to come see Disneyland would think it'd be really cool to be able to see it from the top. And
sure.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Disneyland from way up there. And so that's an example of they're already doing something. They already have assets in their pocket that they could then repurpose into some social media viral marketing.
Right. Now I noticed, I was actually looking on our website on the links, or all of the little things, all of the different places that you can send the website. There's a tool on the
share tool.
Share tool. I mean, there's like 255 different other kinds of websites. I mean, that's a lot of social media.
And again, it comes back to do what you have time for, and you can drive yourselves crazy. I know that we tried to do it all at Landau Design and did get overwhelmed, and just peered back and said, okay, let's pick very specific outlets of what we're going to do. I mean, there are a lot of different social media sites, and they all offer a lot of different ways of reaching out. The key really is what are you sharing in order to build your reputation? And based upon what you're sharing, you would pick the outlets to participate in, to share it. So, for example, Twitter is basically a conversation tool. There have been some new applications where you can share images, but a person still has to click on a link in order to go see the image. It's not really the optimum tool to be sharing image links that you want a lot of people to go look at.
Okay.
Unless you had a following of people who knew, like, these are going to be great pictures. A different way to use Twitter would be finding a website that is popular and known for their photographs, so like environmental graffiti, and putting together a collection of photos and submitting it there. And that way, when people post it on Twitter and things of that nature, it will people will know, oh, environmental graffiti, that's a cool website. Yeah, let's go look at it. But when you have photos, you want to look at the engines and the vehicles where people are going to want to go see it. So Facebook would be a great one, because the photo pops up and people see a preview, and then they know if they click on it, they go see more.
Right.
So it's really, they really are hundreds of outlets, but they all are very specific in what they can do and who they reach. And so it's very important to either work with a social media consultant to choose the right outlets, or to do your own research. I mean, there's a lot of research out there you can do to find out, what works, what doesn't.
Sort of like picking your target market.
Exactly. And I mean, basically, you want to think about where your clients are, but also with social media, the other thing that we all want to think about is where are the people who are going to share the information? Because you're not just wanting to directly reach your client, but you want people who are going to help you push out the information. So for example, on LinkedIn, if you belong to a group of people that are, let's say, learning how to be photographers, and you're a photographer and you offer information about techniques on photography, then some of those people then are going to share your link with people that they know. And while they might not be your end customer, because you're not a teacher of photography, but you are somebody who wants to be hired to do photography, what it is when they push those links out is you get more links coming in, and it builds that SEO engine. So you're thinking about people who are going to look at your information, like your information, and either want to call you because they want to hire you, or who like it and want to share your information and therefore expand your online reach.
Okay. So how do I use blogs to get noticed?
We've done a lot of talking about blogging. And again, that's an avenue that people get scared of because of the time factor. So you don't have to have a blog that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And that's something when you're planning it, you want to look at what the goal is on the blog. There's a lot of six-figure bloggers out there who have very successful blogs that'll teach you how to blog successfully. And a lot of them will talk about, you don't have to put a ton of time, and you don't have to blog 5 days a week in order to be successful at it. If you follow just one of them, like Darren Rosen or ProBlogger, if you just followed one of these guys and read their blog every day, in about 3 months, you'd know exactly what to do to have a successful blog. I mean, they have really good information out there. And when you're using a blog to establish your reputation, if it's going to be your own blog, then you obviously want to pick subject matters that appeal to your customer.
Okay.
So this goes back to traditional marketing. What's the need?
Okay.
That's like in the Consulting to Win blog, we found that there were a lot of these small tidbits of information that we were sharing with people, and we realized that there might be a lot of people out there who could benefit from these short articles, and who would be coaching clients and just needed reminders, or people who maybe aren't coaching clients and just wanted some information. So we put together a blog that is all the coaches, and we share it. We all contribute to it. And the opportunity is for each person who comes to read it to see how we might offer coaching information. And every blog they read, they will walk away with something valuable. It's not a teaser.
Right.
And that's really important in a blog. You don't make a blog a teaser. So using a blog, I think that what you're trying to do is establish that you can help the person.
Okay, so again, you're giving them a sample, or not a sample. You're actually giving them the experience of your product.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we are going to have some more discussion about social marketing. And all right, we'll be right back.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? Would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
Making it perfect or nothing else is the company culture at Goldbrecht USA, a premier luxury window and door manufacturer. Doing business since 1889, every window and door is made with old-world craftsmanship and the finest materials, meticulous design, sleek finishing, and a commitment to the environment. They even use environmentally friendly transportation. Made in Germany, available in the U.S., Goldbrecht USA is located in Santa Monica, California. For the world's best windows and doors, visit www.goldbrechtusa.com or call now at 310-393-5540. That's 310-393-5540.
If you're like the 8 out of 10 women that say finding jeans that fit is a problem, well, your problem is solved. Lee Jeans has done extensive research, and they have jeans that fit. There's even an online Lee Fit Finder so you can find the right fit for you. Imagine jeans that instantly slim you with a custom fit and no gap waistband. And guys, kids, Lee has jeans for you too. Click through to Lee's Jeans on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page and get what fits.
Put a little light in your life and keep it shining with Intellectric.net, a full-service lighting design company. If you need a top electrical contracting firm to deal with all facets of electrical, from concept to completion, including repair, call Intellectric.net at 310-838-5486. They can use green technology. They are home automation specialists, and they are high-end residential specialists. With prompt and efficient service, Intellectric.net has over 10 trucks, 28 employees, and on-call electricians available to handle your needs. Educated in state-of-the-art techniques and technology for all your electrical needs. Call dependable, innovative Intellectric.net today at 310-838-5486. Keep your light shining. Call 310-838-5486 or visit online at Intellectric.net.
HealthyLife.net for healthy side effects.
Welcome back. This is the Business Beat, where we keep our finger on the pulse of business to increase the flow of profit. And I'm here with Bonnie Landau, and we're talking about marketing and social marketing. And so we were talking about blogging, but blogging involves writing. So how do I write to get noticed? And, how do I accomplish that?
Well, writing is something that scares some people because, again, it becomes that time void.
Right.
So when you're looking at getting writing to get noticed, you need to look into the assets that already exist in your company. What have you already written? And if you haven't written anything, do you or anybody in your company have the capability of actually writing information that would be interesting to your clients?
Okay.
So writing is an awesome opportunity because there are just hundreds of places to push out that information into the social media world and link back to your site and at the same time establish yourself as an authority. And we talked a bit about blogging, and a blog owned by you is something that you control. But guest blogging is a whole nother world of blogging where you don't have to own a blog in order to be a guest blog. And when you're invited to guest blog, immediately that puts you into the expert status. Immediately it says, wow, this person must be good enough to have been invited to write here. So guest blogging is an excellent way to build up your reputation.
How do you get invited to be a guest blogger?
Well, you have to be pretty big to actually be invited. It's generally you need to work on it. And the best way to do that is if there's blogs that you feel fit your niche and something that you could write for, what you want to do is follow those blogs, participate a little bit in commenting, and so they know that you're one of the followers and you're somebody interested. And if there's some blogs will actually have a box on the blog that'll say, we invite guest writers. This is, how you submit. Some blogs don't. And either way, if they have instructions, just follow the instructions. Usually they ask you either for an excerpt on a post or to submit a full post. And then they'll tell you if they accept it or not. If they don't have instructions, then just simply email the person, the owner of the blog, and say, I've been following your blog. It fits my niche. And I'm wondering if you ever would like anybody to guest blog on it. If you've been following the blog, you'll see if they invite other people. But just remember when you're reaching out to people and asking to guest blog on their blog, a lot of them are very flattered. They're not upset by this, okay? So that's what I think a lot of people are afraid to say, can I come write for you? Because they think, oh, I'm not good enough, or they'll be mad.
Yeah, my first thought was, well, you're not doing a good enough job, so I want to do one so you show you how to do it.
This is true. Might be what people think, but the fact is that bloggers get tired of blogging and they appreciate guest blogs because that's one day that they don't have to write.
Right.
And guest blogging just fills out their blog even better, brings in another perspective. Okay. And they know if you're going to guest blog on their blog that you're going to promote it.
Excellent.
So they get something out of it too.
Right.
So don't be afraid to ask. But it's not the kind of thing that you want to just come in and go, your blog is in my niche and I want to guest blog for you. But, become somebody who follows that blog and comments a couple times a week so they know that you're somebody who's been reading and hanging around. You're not just somebody who fell out of the sky who's just trying to get some, PR points.
Should you ask that person to guest blog on your blog?
That's entirely up to you. If you have a blog, yeah, that would be great. The worst they could do is say no. Some of them do not have the time to guest blog depending on how busy they are.
Okay.
Yeah. One other point too is when you guest blog on somebody else's blog, that is, if you have your own blog, when you guest blog, you should give them your best material. So the best articles that you could possibly write are the ones that you should put onto the guest blogs, because that is your opportunity to really establish yourself outside of your regular sphere. Now, on top of guest blogging, article writing is a huge way to establish expertise and to get some SEO points or some search engine optimization points back to your website.
What do I do with these articles? Where do I distribute them?
Well, remember all those share links you were asking?
Yes. Right.
A huge chunk of those websites, those share links, are like bookmarking kind of sites where people put article links. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, though, is to actually distribute the articles onto article websites like eZine articles or eArticles. These are websites that specifically collect articles in specific subject areas. And as being an author in you go for free, you go and you subscribe and you can become an author on one of these websites, and then you can start posting your articles, and through a collection of articles on one of these sites, you become an authority.
Interesting. So one of my thoughts was to take the blog and turn it into a book, and that's but I'm seeing, given all the variety of subjects, I'm concerned about how that's going to work, and how I'm going to make that happen, and how I'm going to organize it.
Well, it may not be you pull in every blog, but I've seen several bloggers do this. The one that always sticks out in my mind is ProBlogger, who last year did 31 Days to a Better Blog, where every day he posted a tip or information on how to improve your blog. And then a few weeks after he finished the course, he packaged it up into an ebook, and now he closed down all those blog posts, and now he sells the ebook. So he basically used his blog as a launching platform to create a book. He gave it away for free in the beginning, and he got a lot of people participating, so he got great feedback, and he was able then to package it up into a product that sells extremely well.
Interesting. Did he include the feedback?
Well, the feedback helped him improve the book.
Ah.
Yeah, but then it also became, his marketing vehicle, because then he had tons of testimonials that he could use when he was promoting it and selling it.
That's really great. So along with blogging, along with writing, how about webinars, or how about video? How do you use that to get noticed?
Well, video is something that's really coming into the mainstream. And again, you may not like to write. You've got to find the vein that works for you. And so writing may feel completely horrible and like you're pulling your hair out, and that's just too painful. But sometimes when people want to teach, they don't have a problem being in front of a camera, or maybe you don't even be in front of the camera. You can do like online tutorials where you're talking but no one's seeing you, and you're just showing people how to do things on the computer.
Okay.
So that's actually become very trendy, because there's websites out there like Screen Toaster that make it super simple to capture your screen, capture your voice, and create online tutorials. Now, everybody knows about YouTube. YouTube is a website that for free you can post videos up to a certain length, and you can have your own video page, and you can group them together, and people can come write comments, and it's easy to borrow the code and embed it on your website. So YouTube is the vehicle that's made video really popular.
Okay.
And
can you put YouTube onto your website?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And YouTube's not the only one, but I always think of YouTube for video as what AOL was to the internet. AOL made the internet so easy, 14 years ago. They made it so easy that everybody could do it. And so they're the ones that made it become a household thing to work on the internet. And that's how I always see AOL. A lot of people, made fun of them and didn't like them and stuff, but I always saw them as the reason that the average person started to use the internet. And YouTube's the same for video. YouTube has made it so easy to upload video to the web and to embed it on other websites that they've really made video more of a mainstream vehicle.
Okay, good. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Twitter and Facebook to get noticed. We'll be right back.
Imagine Possibilities Unlimited. Well, they're here, and they want to help your business. Possibilities Unlimited offers the best business consulting and coaching that provides incredible results. Ralph White and his team of experts bring a variety of experience and expertise to your business. Discover how their whole life matrix can positively affect your personal and business life. Focusing on key challenges, they'll devise a customized plan and give you the support you need every step of the way until you achieve your intended results. Call Possibilities Unlimited today at 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538. No business is too big or too small. Possibilities Unlimited can help them all. Call now at 310-372-8538 or visit consulting2win.com. That's consulting2win.com.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? Would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
Oh man, it never fails. My suitcase just got ripped apart.
Life is a journey. Make it a pleasant one. Use Samsonite. You know the name. For almost a century, Samsonite luggage has proved itself to be the worldwide leader in innovative travel solutions. Let it be yours. Visit HealthyLife.net's affiliate Samsonite on our homepage and click to look at the fine luggage from suitcases to golf travel bags. And don't forget, take a look at their travel accessories. Make life a journey, a pleasant one, with Samsonite.
Whether your business is in products or services, one thing you need to be successful is sales. And now you can take the mystery out of selling and discover how to consistently produce top sales results with Possibilities Unlimited 8-week Sales to Win course. The Sales to Win course can be attended by anyone from anywhere because it's given by conference call. You'll be taught by top sales and marketing experts all about the sales process, and you'll be given top techniques and tips. It's all simply broken down for you and presented in a stress-free environment. But the best thing is, it's so affordable. It's money well spent because you'll make even more money back with your increased sales. Don't wait. Enroll in the Sales to Win course for yourself and your sales staff right now. You won't want to miss this opportunity to raise your bottom line. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Welcome back. I'm Ralph White, and we're the Business Beat, and we're here with Bonnie Landau, and we're talking about social marketing and how to get yourself noticed and reputation management. And I said before the break, I think there was a thought on video that you wanted to mention before.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people think videos have to be very polished and, professional and, with intros and things like that. And the fact is you can do really simple videos. They don't have to look like they came out of a production studio. And particularly if you create how-to videos. So maybe you're an expert. A great example is the other day, we were trying to help my son learn some origami, and we found some origami videos that show you step-by-step how to create animals out of origami. And they were fabulous how-to videos. So maybe there's something in your business that you were always showing people how to do, and how easy would it be to create a video. And it doesn't have to be close up and on the computer. It could be you take your video camera out, create that video, and then you can use YouTube or something to upload it to the internet, and then use their embed code to share it in other places. But it doesn't have to be some professional video. And if you create these how-to videos, there's a lot of websites like eHow and stuff like that where they actually have these huge libraries of how to do things. And they're categorized much like the videos are on YouTube, but they're specifically how-to tutorials. So I don't want people to feel like video's not in my league. It's really gotten to the point now that video, absolutely everybody can do it. If you have a video camera, or if you're going to show somebody how to do something on your computer, you can absolutely create video that you can share across the internet.
Yeah, it's down to where the new iPhone is a video camera.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you can, do it on your iPhone, stick it, email it to the web, and,
I think that in the recent earthquakes, that's how they got the video.
yeah,
That's how they got the video. Was people had their iPhones with them.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how do we use Twitter and Facebook to get noticed?
The big two.
Yes.
Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn are probably the three most known social media outlets. And these are more of your traditional interactive outlets where you're actually connecting more one-on-one with people. And these three LinkedIn is an opportunity through the groups to establish some of your expertise when you are sharing information, answering questions and things like that in the discussion boards. Facebook and Twitter are more the pushing engines. So these are the places where you want to establish relationships with people on those networks so that when you post a link, they'll share it with other people. So they help push out your information.
Okay.
Twitter, of course, is limited to 140 characters, so everything needs to be short and sweet. In Facebook, you have a little bit more. Now, Facebook, the really neat thing is if you have a business page on Facebook, they changed Facebook several months back now that when you have a business page, you can actually create like a mini website out of it where you can add additional pages with specific information. So we talked about videos. Well, you could actually create a video page where you can put in these videos that you've created, so you can create your own little video library that's right there on your Facebook fan page. You could also create a page where you can create your own discussion group. So if you want to have a discussion board, you could create photo galleries and things like that. So Facebook can become a mini hub about you. And if you are trying to create a reputation for yourself, separate from your company, but your company has the website, then Facebook is a very wonderful way for you to really collect all that information about you and establish your expertise.
So how do I keep my Facebook I use for my artwork and the people that know me as an artist? And then I'd like to have apparently you can't have two Facebook accounts.
Yeah, Facebook's a little bit finicky.
So I want to have a business account. How do I keep those separate?
Well, according to the official rules on Facebook, every account has to be a personal account.
Okay.
So if you've created an account on Facebook in the name of a business, if they find you, they'll shut it down.
Okay.
So that's just it's in their rules. And we Erin at Landau Design, she's our expert in Facebook, and she has known people who have had their business account shut down. The only way to actually have a business presence is you create a personal account, and then you can go in and create a fan page for your business.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about that is if you have a fan page for your business, and people come and they become a fan of it, they do not have to be friends with your personal account.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they don't even know what personal account owns the business page.
Okay.
So they're not linked together. So then you can use the fan page area to create, the video page, and you can bring in your blog and all these things around your business or whatever entity you're trying to establish a presence for. And nobody has to know who owns it and who's controlling it. And so people can become a fan of your business page, but they're not friends with your personal account.
Okay. That sounds good. Excellent. So how do we track information. I love to measure things. I want to know if it's what are the numbers and how do we push them in the direction we want them to go. So what kind of analytics can we use to measure our progress in social marketing?
Yeah, that's actually one of the newer areas in social media is how do we measure that return on investment, because it's kind of ambiguous. We spend a lot of time into it, so what are we getting out of it? And so you have to look at what are the goals? What were the initial goals that you established that you were trying to achieve? Was it more traffic to your website? Maybe it was more traffic to a specific page on your website. So let's say you're a company who you've created a community for your customers and you want them to come there and utilize the community. You would want to track the traffic to that specific area of the site. And obviously, site analytics is going to measure all of that. So like Google Analytics.
Okay.
And but you really want to think about what is the goal of our social media campaign. So let's say the goal of your social media campaign is to get mentions in other people's blogs. So what you would do to measure that is set up a Google search parameter. It's called Google Alerts. It's one of the Google tools.
Mm-hmm.
And basically you put in a phrase or a word that you want to track, and it will notify you every time it has indexed a page that phrase or word appears on.
Okay. So,
for example, we have a Google Alert set up for Landau Design. It isn't always about us. There are other companies who have a similar name, but I get to know every time someone's mentioned me on a blog or somebody has linked to us. And so if the number of mentions, in other words, the number of PR points that you got online is your goal, then you have to find a way to measure that goal. And Google Alerts gives you that opportunity.
Okay, very good. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to look at the 5 keys to getting noticed online. We'll be right back.
There are 3 wise women at Possibilities Unlimited, and if you want to improve your business's bottom line, you'll want to get to know them because they want to help you with your business, and they can. Wise web woman Bonnie Landau will help make your website the best it can be. She'll help you with all web-related things, including social media. Wise marketing woman Mary Molinoff wields her magic to find and obtain sales leads for you, and she'll help you identify and qualify prospects. Leanne Farmer, wise work life woman, hones your customer relations, communications, and sales skills as she teaches you how to manage your work and life in balance. There are options of coaching with one or all 3 wise women. Get to know them now. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538, or visit consulting2win.com. That's consulting2win.com.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Demystify the world of social marketing and get it to work for you. You can maximize your market potential in sales, and Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited can help. Discover how to use Twitter, LinkedIn, and more to market your business. Learn how to expand your prospect base, improve your web presence, but more importantly, get results. Your possibilities are unlimited. Social networking can impact your bottom line in a positive way. Find out how with Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited. Call today at 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538, or visit consulting2win.com. Consulting2win.com.
Do you own your own business? What would happen if your computer system crashed? Would you be able to recover in a reasonable amount of time? Left Brain Tech's computer services caters to business owners who want reliable computer systems that work and are backed up in case of emergency. For your entire computer needs, call 888-239-2216 or visit leftbraintechs.com. IT solutions done right with Left Brain Techs. That's 888-239-2216 or leftbraintechs.com.
All positive talk with a mature edge. HealthyLife.net.
All right, this is the Business Beat. We're keeping our finger on the pulse of business to increase the flow of profit. And before the break, I said we were going to talk about the 5 keys to getting noticed online. So how do I get noticed? That's a good question.
It's the key question in
Yes.
all business owners' mind. How do I get noticed using social media without losing all my time?
Right. In 5 minutes or less, how do I get noticed, huh?
Well, the first key, I really think, is having a plan.
Okay.
What is your objective for using social media? Are you trying to drive traffic to your website? Are you trying to create social media buzz about you, PR, if you will? Are you trying to gain SEO points? What is the goal? What is the objective? You could have multiple goals, but then you also have to have multiple tasks to reach those goals.
So by determining the objective, the outcome that you're committed to, that sets up the game. It sets up, what you want to accomplish, and that's useful in any project. To really crystal clear define the outcome that you're committed to. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And the second key is to choose how you're going to monitor your progress. How are you going to figure out if you're reaching those goals?
Mm-hmm.
When you set those goals, it may be, we want to increase traffic to our website by, 200%. So you have a measurable goal, and then your analytics is going to tell you how much are you achieving that. As a matter of fact, like in Google Analytics, it actually will show you the percentage of increase from the month previous on each day.
Mm-hmm.
So like the third of the month in February will be compared to the third of the month in January, and it'll tell you how much of an increase in traffic you've had in percentages.
Excellent. Yeah. Measuring progress, being able to compare, now versus before is critical in any project that you're making a change.
And your analytics also helps you know if the outlets you've chosen are sending the people or bringing the people that you want. So like Google Analytics will show you the exact websites people are coming from. So if you're putting a lot of effort into Facebook and you see like 3 people came from Facebook, you're like, well, maybe that's not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you had 300 people come from Twitter and you're like, let's spend more time there.
Right.
So the analytics help you just hone what you're doing.
It gives you the feedback that you need to put in corrections.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Now, the third thing that you really want to do is monitor the conversation. What are people saying about you? And if you have multiple people in your company who are participating in social media, it's important to monitor what are they saying. Make sure everybody's on the same page in terms of how are we going to present the company and how are we going to phrase things and things like that. And paying attention to the conversation helps you to respond to good and to bad, because sometimes people don't say nice things and you want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So setting up those Google alerts is really critical because it really will tell you every time you've been mentioned. And so, for example, let's say you have a profile on Yelp, which is one of the business directory sites where people can put up a review, and you find out someone put up a review that's not so flattering. Well, you have an opportunity in Yelp to go put a response to that. And so you want to know what's being said.
Excellent. So if you're not aware, so what I'm hearing you say is that you're taking the mystery out of the internet. You're putting in an objective, you're monitoring it, you got a system to find out, what's happening so that you'll be able to quantify it. So it's not this nebulous thing of like I'm putting out this effort and I have no idea what's happening.
Exactly. I think that's a really good way you phrased it, taking the mystery out of the internet. So you're not throwing all these hours into social media and sitting there wondering, what's happening? Is it working? And
right.
You put together a framework that helps you measure if it's working. This is just like sales. Like sales.
Yeah, it's giving you the ability to get your hands on the dials and the levers of your own business. There was a time in my life that I really thought there was no relationship between my efforts and the results that I produced. I'd work really hard one month and I'd lose money. The next month I'd go on vacation and I made money. So, it's left me with the impression, well, if I go on vacation every month, maybe that's what I need to do to make money. Didn't make sense. But once you're measuring and you're setting a goal and you're getting feedback, then you're determining what is it that's going to take, what is it that produces a great month, what is it that produces great results, then you can repeat it. Okay?
Exactly.
What's our next point?
Well, the fourth point is you want to leverage your existing assets. Social media could be a whole full-time job, if you don't watch out.
Okay.
So you want to repurpose what you already have or what you're already doing. So if you're teaching webinars, record them, share pieces of them or all of them online. If you are writing extensive explanations to your customers via email, capture that, turn them into blog posts or articles. So take what you're already doing and use it as an opportunity to share your expertise online.
Yeah, I like where you say repurpose. It comes from me being in the sheet metal business and stamping. I'm looking at, you made one part, how do you make that machine stamp out another one just like it?
Exactly.
If it's good, I want to make multiples, same result again and again and again.
And, one thing that's commonly done in that vein is with blogging, people will write a short blog and then they take the same blog and they expand it into an article and then submit it to the article directory. So they've taken the same thoughts and just added more to it, more meat to it, and reutilized it in the article directories.
That's great. I like that a lot.
So the last point is the point that really comes from choosing the outlets that fit with your schedule and what you're capable of doing. And the last point is be consistent. And if you create a plan that's overwhelming for you, you're not going to be consistent. So you need to choose realistically. And I think this is something that people have a hard time understanding because they feel like I should be doing this. I should be doing Twitter. I should be doing Facebook. I should be doing LinkedIn and YouTube and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, well, in an ideal world, it would be great. But I know the people who do all those things, they have people who work for them that do it. They're not sitting there all day submitting their content to all these outlets. So choose realistically for the time frame that you have available, for the resources that you have available, and that way you will be consistent because you will create a plan that works within the construct of what you have available.
Very good, Bonnie. Well, you've got some excellent information, and I think it's been very useful for our clients and for the listeners. If they want to contact you to get some more information or to work with you, how can they do that?
Well, we do have a social media strategy consulting course coming up. And so if they want to contact me, they can either email me at bonnie@consultingtowin.com or they can call at 310-372-8538.
Okay, great. Excellent. So we're going to take a break, and we will be back in just a few moments.
Making it perfect or nothing else is the company culture at Goldbrecht USA, a premier luxury window and door manufacturer. Doing business since 1889, every window and door is made with old-world craftsmanship and the finest materials, meticulous design, sleek finishing, and a commitment to the environment. They even use environmentally friendly transportation. Made in Germany, available in the U.S., Goldbrecht USA is located in Santa Monica, California. For the world's best windows and doors, visit www.goldbrechtusa.com or call now at 310-393-5540. That's 310-393-5540. Whether your business is in products or services, one thing you need to be successful is sales. And now you can take the mystery out of selling and discover how to consistently produce top sales results with Possibilities Unlimited 8-week Sales to Win course. The Sales to Win course can be attended by anyone from anywhere because it's given by conference call. You'll be taught by top sales and marketing experts all about the sales process, and you'll be given top techniques and tips. It's all simply broken down for you and presented in a stress-free environment. But the best thing is, it's so affordable. It's money well spent because you'll make even more money back with your increased sales. Don't wait. Enroll in the Sales to Win course for yourself and your sales staff right now. You won't want to miss this opportunity to raise your bottom line. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538.
Uplifting talk. HealthyLife.net.
Well, Bonnie, we've come to the end of another show of the New Business Beat, where we're keeping our finger on the pulse of business to increase the flow of profit. And I certainly believe the subject for today of social marketing is an element of creating the flow of profit. So what's our play for the week going to be?
Well, I would like everybody to look into the company and see what they're already doing that they could repurpose into an online marketing opportunity. Do you have anything that you've written? Did you have photos that you could share, videos that you could share? What do you have that you're already doing that you can share with the social media world that will help bring you back some visitors or get you some attention? And if you email me at bonnie@landaudesign.com, then we will post them to our blog.
Okay, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our let's see, we have that sales project coming up next week.
Oh, right. On March 10th at 3 p.m., we're doing a conference call that's a mini training session to share Sales to Win. And
Right.
we're going to, in this conference call, it's a 1-hour conference call that we will share a bit about what we do in Sales to Win to help change your framework around sales.
Right. So send your email, or email us at ralph@consultingtowin.com. That's ralph@consulting2win.com, and we'll send you the phone number and the PIN code to be on that conference call. And then the following Thursday we have our other project.
Yeah, this is really fun. Speed sales. You guys all know what speed dating is, I bet. Well, speed sales, we're going to give some coaching on how to give your sales pitch. And then you are going to get 5 opportunities to sit with somebody, give your sales pitch, and then get feedback on how well you've done. So it's an excellent opportunity to hone those sales muscles.
Excellent. And if you're interested in that, also send it to ralph@consultingtowin.com, and I'll send you the information for that also. And if you have any questions you'd like us to discuss on the program, please send it to me as well. In the meantime, make lots of profit, and we'll be back next week with another guest. Thank you very much.